Hello everybody and welcome to NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today's a big day. We start a brand new series. Obviously we had over 200 episodes on Career Mode in NASCAR Heat 3. It was a very good success on the channel, and we're back now for NASCAR Heat 4. Just came out for the Gold Edition today. There you see me kind of messing with the AI stuff. We're going to have it quite close quarters racing we're hoping for in this career mode. That's kind of the character I went with. I would get the name obviously changed to Gary Owen, and I didn't really show you guys any of the hot seat stuff for dirt, but we will be starting in the dirt series with a 5-star team there as we have this little news thing come up. This was my choices for the teams. This first episode is going to be more of a recap. The races were pretty short because I just want to get through the dirt series and into the truck series. So you're going to see pretty short dirt races. So we're probably going to get in all of the regular season today in dirt. And obviously when we get to trucks, we're going to bump up the length of the races. Obviously I'm racing on Legend difficulty. This is the car I ended up designing. Unfortunately, we don't get to choose the paint scheme this year once again, which I was really hoping we would be able to do that. But unfortunately, we don't get that option. But I went with the number 02, and there is the paint scheme that we will be driving this season for our rookie season in dirt. But these opening races in our rookie season for dirt are only going to be about 4 laps or so, as we're just, like I said, trying to get through dirt as quick as possible into the truck series. We're definitely going to have some truck offers today, and hopefully we can get some successful truck series races and have a good chance at a good ride next season. If we make the playoffs in dirt, we should automatically even get a 5-star offer in the truck series. Now as we're introduced to the new career mode menu, it looked really good. We get straight into things through our first race here in the dirt series, starting in P11. One thing I noticed right off the bat, my qualifying pace wasn't quite as good as it needed to be, so that was something we're going to have to work on improving throughout this rookie season here in the dirt series. There you see the replay cameras on the screen. If you're new to the channel, that's one of my biggest kind of things with the NASCAR Heat 3 series that I did, was just implementing replay cameras into the live footage, just kind of like the Formula 1 YouTubers do, but this time on NASCAR. Now as we come through, getting into the wall there as we go down into turn 3. Dirt racing, I'm not a huge fan of dirt racing. It's always a bit of a challenge for me, but we were obviously just here to do whatever we can to make sure we get at least a top 5. We want to make the playoffs. That's the biggest goal. In my opinion, I mean, I'm a big fan of playoffs in motorsports, but in my opinion, we should maybe keep the dirt racing part of this game just kind of a normal championship. We just race from start to finish, and whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. But in the top 3 series, I'm all for having playoffs. But now already on this final lap of our first race, up in the top 5 as we head down this back straightaway towards turns 3 for the final time. And as we come through turns 4, it is going to be a top 5 here in our opening race of our Dirt Series career, as that guy in the 98 just about edged us out, but we would come through to get P5 and a very solid finish for us in our opening race of our rookie season as a full-time Dirt Series driver. Obviously, we had to do 3 hot seats in dirt. I didn't bother. I felt like that would be a bit of a waste, but we obviously got a 5-star offer. So we go straight in towards our second race of our career. The first one, very successful, so hopefully we can continue this momentum here into race number 2 as we get ready to go green at Drebin, a track that I've had decent success at in the past. I'm not sure if I've ever gotten a win here, but as you see again, in the top right, we qualified P15, so definitely having a qualifying struggle. I was doing pretty good in the race. Obviously, you saw last race in our first race of the season, qualified pretty poorly. We would work our way back forwards, and there you see me utilizing that bottom line through turns 3 and on the exit of turn 4. And now we're already up into P6 as we cross the line to complete that first opening lap here in Drebin. Tony Stewart, the number 14, just in front of us as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. We know Tony Stewart's going to be a long-term contender this season for the championship as we make contact with the guy on my outside now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 side by side with the 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion of Tony Stewart now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. We get clear of the 14 of Stewart and move up into the 3rd position as we take the white flag here of our second race of the season as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Stewart side by side with another car behind us to go down the back straightaway towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. We will exit turns 4 and we're going to come through to finish in the 3rd position here in Drebin. A very solid result for the second race of the season for us now is we cut straight through into race number 3. That would be at Eldora, so a track obviously we will be visiting in the Truck Series likely next season. I plan on going full-time truck racing for the next season now, as we automatically or immediately have a chance to get down to that bottom lane. Not qualifying very well once again, but getting to that bottom lane is a big advantage now as we head down this back straightaway towards turns 3 and turns 4. Now, there was one big flaw with this game that I'm noticing is with the replay cameras, the camera's always switching instead of just staying on the TV broadcast, and that's a little bit annoying, as I would like it to stay on the TV broadcast, but we will be able to deal with this now as we come through. At this point, just 2 laps to go, approaching the white flag, trying to make a move for second place as we make major contact, and sideways we go, and somehow we hang on to the car, lose a few positions in the process as the car was all over the place. I've never actually felt the car do anything like that ever in playing a NASCAR Heat game. It was just, it was going back and forth. It was really weird in that moment, but we hang on to it now as we come through on the exit of turns 4. We're going to get into the wall and lose another spot there. It looked like it now as we would come through to finish P5 here in Eldora. So a little bit unfortunate there, but we still get a top 5 finish, and that's all we need in points. Now, as you see the incentive contract completed, we actually have momentum in NASCAR Heat 4. I've always been an advocate for saying I do not like momentum in NASCAR Heat, and unfortunately it's back this year. But I guess that's just what happens sometimes. But now we get our first truck hot seat offer at the it's Texas Motor Speedway for the 75 truck. It's a 3-star ride, so it's not the greatest. We qualified in P29. I had to turn the AI down a bit for this because in 3-star cars, my first attempt, it's just like NASCAR Heat 3. When you're in a 3-star ride, you lose so much time to even the other slowest trucks on the track. You don't stand a chance. So I had to turn the AI down for the 3-star hot seat to make it a little bit more legit, so we could have a chance to do something. Now as we get ready to go green here in the number 75 truck as we head out of turns 4, and the green flag is out, and our first truck race is underway here at Texas Motor Speedway, starting behind the 19 of Haley Deegan. She was a common driver in our Xfinity car back in NASCAR Heat 3 as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Seeing the roof cam here in the replay mode, the roof cam is certainly a cool addition that they should have given us just for actual racing, not just replays. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway there, you see that bumper cam looking back at the other trucks as we make it 3 wide there with Deegan. As we go down into turn 3, we clear her, and quickly moving ourselves forward as I get onto the apron there. Certainly another thing I felt was that the truck and just the cars in general seemed to be turning a little bit more than the input I was putting into it with my wheel. I am using the Thrustmaster TMX for anyone wondering now as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 there on the inside of Natalie Decker. Once again, touching the apron. That was just kind of an effect of just trying to get used to the wheel. Like I said, turning the cars turn a little bit more than the input I give, so we might have to tweak that in the settings as we go down towards turn 3. A draft partner there behind us in 99. I believe that is Ben Rhodes as we actually move up into P21, getting a little bit sideways there from the apron up into 20th, and that was pretty much as far as I could get because now we come out of turn 4, approaching the final lap. At this point, we'd actually lost a couple of positions. Natalie Decker had gone past me as we start this final lap here in Texas Motor Speedway, trying to run up the top line because, as always, if you guys have watched my NASCAR Heat 3 series, you know that I love to run that top line. So sure enough, I get up to the top as much as I can now as we head down this back straightaway for the final time. Going to give Jennifer Jo Cobb a bit of a shot to the bumper as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time in our first ever Truck Series race. Now as we come through on the exit of turn 4, we just about get into the back of Jennifer Jo Cobb. I think we did touch her at the bumper, but we do come through to beat the goal position of a top 25 and finish in the 22nd position. So at the very least, we have a 3-star offer for next season in the Truck Series. So a success in that one, which means we will get a 4-star offer for our next hot seat in the Truck Series. So hopefully that can give us a good opportunity to complete that goal and propel us into a 5-star offer before we get to next season. So that way we can go full-time truck racing next season. So now we come straight through to race number 4 of the Dirt Series, back underway here with the green flag. This was at the Charlotte dirt track. There you see Charlotte Motor Speedway off out of turn 1. That's certainly a cool little sight. Now is once again struggling with the qualifying down here in P12 on this opening lap as we go down towards turn 3. One of the slower dirt tracks on this schedule, it seemed, now as we come through on the exit of turn 4. We had moved back up inside of the top 10 as we come through to complete the first lap, and by the time we came through approaching the final lap, we had gotten up into P4 as we come through to start this final lap. Tony Stewart, though, looks to my inside as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. He's putting the pressure pressure on us as we exit turn 2. Stewart clear for 4th as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here at the Charlotte dirt track. We will exit turn 4 to come through to finish in another top 5 position in the dirt series. So a solid finish again. We're having a solid start to our first full-time dirt season, and hopefully we can continue that. Now we come straight through to the Bristol dirt race here. This is a fantasy track, obviously. I think they have maybe attempted a Bristol dirt race. I've heard something like that before in the past. I might be wrong now. Correct me if I'm wrong now as we go green in. Once again, there you see the qualifying struggles, and something I noticed that's new to this game, you saw on Tony Stewart's name, a little snowflake sign. That's, I guess, like if the driver is struggling in a weekend, he's cold, they're going to see that sign beside their name. If they're looking hot, they're really fast, you're going to see a little bit of a heat symbol beside their name, as well as they have like the rivals and friends symbol. So I think that's really good addition to this game. Now it's come through this time on the final lap. We had basically gone nowhere throughout this race. I had struggled quite a bit. Now P12 as we exit the corner. That Brock guy with a very aggressive move up the inside as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. And we have a spinner behind us in that car with the flames, and number 12 as he does hang on to it, but we come through to finish in the 12th position. A very disappointing result for us here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It certainly felt like the dirt AI might have been a little bit tougher than what I had experienced in NASCAR Heat 3, but we come through now to the Texas dirt track, continuing to get through. We're going to get through the whole regular season in this first episode because, like I said, the main goal is get the dirt series done as quick as possible, and then once we get to trucks, we'll turn up that race length now as we come through on the exit of turn 2, struggling with qualifying once again as we're 3 wide going into turn 3. A car just barely got into my left rear as we almost hit Gomez in the left rear now as they're going about 5 wide, as you can see in my mirror as we dive it down up the inside into turns 1, up inside the top 10. Tony Stewart mixing it up there in the top 5 as we make contact with Gomez on the outside as we go down towards turn 3, looking up the inside of Ackerman now. As we exit turn 4, we continue to drive up into P5, approaching the final lap now up to 4th, battling for 4th at least, as we exit the turns 4, approaching turns 1 on this final lap, sliding up in front of Tony Stewart now, who's in this battle now. They're going to go 3 wide just about behind me as we go down towards turn 3. Contact made with the 98 from the bumper cam. You can see he uses us up, and that's going to cost us some time as we exit the corner, and we lose a few positions from that contact to finish in the 4th position here at the Texas dirt track. So a little bit unfortunate there with that finish, but still a solid result. We haven't won yet. We just quite haven't had the winning speed, but obviously you don't need to win to get into the playoffs. We can get to the playoffs and still run pretty good there, as we do apologize to that guy. And now 6 races already completed. Only 4 remain until the playoffs, as we do get another hot seat for the truck series. This one would be a 4-star hot seat for the AM racing or whatever that is. Now in the 22 truck, that's usually what Austin Wayne Self drives. So here we are at Iowa Speedway for our 2nd ever truck series race. Not the best qualifying effort in the world, but it was pretty good. It was actually better than our goal position now. As you see, Ben Rhodes pole winner. Christian Eckes failed pre-race inspection, so he's starting at the back. Johnny Sutter, he failed technical inspection, so he's also starting at the back, as we will actually be starting in the 8th position here as we get ready to go green at Iowa. The 2 Nice cars on the bottom lined up. Ross Chastain, I know, is one of them, as the green flag is out here in Iowa, and we are underway as we go down towards turns 1. Behind us is the 46 and the 88 of Matt Crafton as we go down into turns 1 through turns 2. Now Ben Rhodes leads the way as we exit turn 2. There you see the roof cam footage now as you go down this back straightaway for the first time here in Iowa. A fun racetrack that was always really tough in NASCAR Heat 3. Couldn't really ever be successful here as we come through on the exit of turn 4, right behind the 18 of Harrison Burton. I would love an opportunity to maybe drive for that team next season, as we did that in NASCAR Heat 3. As we go down into turns 1 and turns 2, hitting the wall there, trying to use that top lane. Now is Todd Gilliland. He's up out of the groove, and we're going to get down to the inside of him as we're up in a 3-wide situation, in the middle of a 3-wide, as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, trying to make sure we don't get into anyone there, as we are now in P10 as we exit turn 4. On the back there of Kyle Benjamin, I believe that is we're going to look to the outside of him through the front straightaway and try to move up another position as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Harrison Burton continued to run P7 at this point. And as we came to just 2 laps to go at this race, approaching the final lap, we had gained 1 more position up into P7 as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway, and the white flag would be in the air. No one really putting the pressure on me as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time. The goal was to get a top 15. And we're in P7, so we're definitely going to complete that goal as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway for the final time. No one really around us as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in Iowa, getting onto that apron, but thankfully it doesn't really crash you as much anymore now as we exit turn 4. We're going to come through to get a solid 7th place finish here in our second Truck Series race, which now we complete this goal, and this will definitely give us an opportunity to get a 5-star hot seat attempt later this season. A few drivers not very happy with us after that race. We don't want any rivals, obviously, going in to our rookie season of trucks next season, so need to be as nice as possible to everybody. But now it would be right back into the Dirt Series here, this time at Jefferson Raceway. This is actually a dirt road course, so a bit of a mix-up here in the schedule. This one was only a 1-lap race. I didn't even realize that it was only a 1-lap race. It was supposed to be probably 2 or 3. I should have had it, but made a bit of a mistake there on the length of this race now as we come through. So we only have 1 lap, and we qualified not very well at all, as I had actually skipped qualifying because I didn't feel like making a qualifying lap at this track. Now as we go down towards the right-hander behind Cobb, so not a good start for us as we come through. If I would have known it was only 1 lap, I definitely would have qualified, but I just wasn't thinking at the time. This was probably about 2 in the morning when I was doing this, so certainly wasn't thinking the smartest as we come through these few corners. At NASCAR Heat 3, this track was a complete disaster most of the time to race at. Your car was so much slower than everybody. Right now, though, it doesn't look like that's too much of an issue as we come through this concrete asphalt part, whatever. Now as we go down back towards the dirt section, only up into P17. On the bright side, we were at a point in the standings where we can afford a couple bad races, and we're going to be fine as long as not everyone wins their way into the playoffs, because right now it seems like we have good pace, but we just don't have the speed quite yet to get a win here in the Dirt Series. Hopefully we can change that. And I actually did get some wins in the hot seats. I got, I think, 2 wins in the hot seat stuff, but now full time we just can't win now as we go down towards the final portion of this track. Up the right hand side, you can see on the track map on the bottom left, Tony Stewart was leading as we would finish in the 12th position. So Tony Stewart wins the race. Not a good result for us at Jefferson at all. We've had a couple rough races here recently, and now it's crunch time. Just a few races remaining. Only 2 races remain until the playoffs in the Dirt Series, and the next up would be Taggart Raceway, so we would get ready for that. There, as you see the playoff grid, now this looks much better. The standings look so much better in this game, but we are certainly, as long as we don't have enough different winners, we will likely point our way into the playoffs now as we come through, starting P17 at Taggart. Once again, a rough qualifying position as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time here at Taggart. Up the inside of the 2 car, now side by side, 3 wide as we exit turn 2. A little bit of contact made now as we go down the back straightaway into turns 3. Trying to keep it as clean as possible on this inside lane as we try to get up towards the top 10. They're going 4 or 5 wide even in front of us as we go down towards turns 1. They get very aggressive in the Dirt Series, which I can only imagine how aggressive they're going to be in the next coming series of trucks, Xfinity, and eventually the Cup Series now as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, and already up into P6, but unfortunately as we came to the final lap, I had actually lost some ground. We had dropped down to P12 as we came out of turns 2, so struggling once again for I think the 3rd race in a row maybe as we go down towards turn 3, trying to send it up the inside of that car in front of us as they get aggressive behind us, making some contact, and we do gain a few positions there as we would come through to cross the line to actually still come through with an 8th place finish. Not great, but certainly a nice little rebound as we were coming to the final lap. I had made some mistakes and it sent us back, but we do rebound for a top 10 now as we come through now to the regular season finale as we get ready to go green at Richmond. This was one of my better qualifying efforts of the season, so I had a little bit of confidence now starting P10 here in Richmond. The regular season is about to be finished, and as long as we don't completely screw up or have a new winner, we will easily be inside of the playoffs as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Drivers getting very aggressive in front of us. A little bit of contact made us go 3 wide for a moment. Tony Stewart on that far outside as we head down this back straightaway towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the first time here. Only a 3-lap race. Richmond, one of the longer dirt ovals on the schedule. On the inside there of Tony Stewart, he gets clear down the straightaway. It seemed like the AI had a little bit more speed than me on the straightaway here at Richmond as we go down towards turns 1, making it 3 wide, trying to clear the 14 of the NASCAR champion of Tony Stewart as we exit turn 2, up now into the 6th position, but Stewart battles back on the inside as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, and he is able to complete the pass as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway, coming through to start the final lap here in Richmond. Now another car up our inside as we're going to get very aggressive and send it up the inside into turns 1. Contact on the left rear as we're getting pushed up the hill now as we exit turn 2, accidentally shifting down into first gear. That was a big mistake on my part as we head down the back straightaway towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in the regular season, getting pushed up the track, getting used up by everybody as we would come through to drift down into the 10th position as we came across the line. So the last handful of races in the regular season didn't go our way, unfortunately, but still a solid result as we would easily make the playoffs like I had said. And hopefully in the playoffs we can actually go and get our first career win, as we're the best driver right now on points without a victory. So we're not having a bad season by any means. But as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. In the next one, we're going to start the playoffs for the Dirt Series, as well as I believe we're going to have a truck hot seat to start the video. But I think for the playoffs, we're going to actually jump the length up of the races to just a little bit more, so we have a little bit more time, more racing, as we will finish out the Dirt season in the next episode before we start the truck series in episode number 3. There you saw right there a special contract offer from DGR Crossley, the team that Natalie Decker's on, Tyler Ankrum, Dylan Lupton. I think it's Tyler Ankrum. I might have got his first name wrong. So we just got a 5-star offer though, so we're already in a good position for next season, as we also have another hot seat for the truck series, which we're going to save for next episode. It's right now Nice Motorsports. Obviously I decided to call it there, so I'm not sure if it's going to still be Nice Motorsports when I come back to the game, but either way it's a 5-star offer. Now as we get ready to see the playoff grid for the Dirt Series, we start the playoffs 3 points out, so it's going to be crunch time. We're going to have to figure something out, make sure we have some strong runs, and get ourselves to that Final Four and have a chance to win a championship in our rookie season for Dirt. I didn't win the championship in the Dirt series in NASCAR Heat 3, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we can do that this time around. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, comment, like. Those would all be very appreciated. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. If you're new, welcome to the community. If you plan to stick around there, as you see some sponsors, we can see the sponsors that are interested in signing with us next season if we start our own team, which is a cool, neat little thing. I think that was actually in NASCAR Heat 3. I might be wrong though, but here's also the new stat screen. This looks so much better. There's a few more things added, which I'm very happy with. There's our current stats, those wins from the hot seats in Dirt last season. But that'll do it for episode 1 of NASCAR Heat 4 career mode. In the next one, we will finish up the Dirt season and move into full-time trucks. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.